everybody, and welcome back to the Blossom Review. How are you? Today we're discussing JTBC's fairly divisive Still Shining, which came to a close just last week. Before we start, here is a very big and clear warning. This review definitely contains spoilers, okay? So, Still Shining isn't exactly a melodrama, but it isn't a romantic drama either. Its narrative wavers between the two genres as it portrays the encounter, the separation, and the reunion between star-crossed lovers Yoon Tae-soo, played by a flawless Park Ji-young, and Mo-na, played by a confident Gi Min-joo. We first meet our protagonists in 2014. Tae-soo and Una are high school seniors who live in the quiet coastal village of Yeonwoo. Tae-soo and his younger brother have just moved to the village to live with their grandparents after losing their parents in a car accident. Meanwhile, Una transferred to this little village with her father 5 years before, after her mother abandoned them. Una's father has been battling depression for quite a while now, and after a suicide attempt, Una found herself in the role of his carer. While Tae-soo's grief is manifested through a seemingly timid and slightly aloof attitude towards his new surroundings, Una hides her fears and sorrows behind a cheerful and chatty personality. After their school brings them together, we see them grow closer day after day. They share their pains and hopes and embolden each other to face the unknown, daunting future that awaits them. These two wounded teenagers finding one another the kind of acceptance and understanding they so desperately seek. During its first 2 to 3 hours, Still Shining feels like a coming-of-age drama, a raw diary of Tae-soo and Una's final high school and early university days. Warm tones and soft lighting give this period a beautiful dreamlike quality. It's serene, sweet, and innocent, lulling us into a comfortable rhythm. The inevitable romance that blossoms between Tae-soo and Una seems at once magical and mundane. Before long, they have to understand how to foster their bond, despite the distance that pulls them apart and the varying commitments that come with adulthood. Their immediate conflicts are prosaic, natural, and perfectly manageable, but slowly their timing becomes ever more dissonant. It's like Tae-soo and Una were dancing together to a song only the two of them could hear, but adulthood made them forget the right steps. Their relationship loses its innocence and becomes strangely enslaving. They have to see each other constantly, otherwise it's like they can't live without the other, which makes us realize that their romance wasn't so much about caring and appreciating the other person for who they are, but about the temporary relief and distraction they offered each other from their own personal ghosts. Soon, Tae-soo is juggling his university, a tutoring job, his aging grandparents, his younger brother, and constant trips to the coast to see Una. Meanwhile, Una gave up on university and decided to take on a job at a hotel. She moves out, seeking independence from her father, who will soon marry. Their bond becomes unbalanced, with Tae-soo doing much of the heavy lifting to synchronize their different routines. But it's Una who gets tired of the hard work required by a long-distance relationship, and so she decides to break up with Tae-soo over the phone. The breakup then makes Tae-soo even more apathetic than he used to be, while Una spends quite some time unable to accept the separation she herself asked for. We are spared the next decade of their lives when the show takes us to 2025 in its fourth installment. Teso is now a subway conductor in Seoul. Una went through several ups and downs over the last 10 years, and she's now trying to find herself again in Seoul. When fate brings them together again, will they be able to rekindle their relationship? The remaining 7 episodes of Still Shining lose the sparkle of its initial installments because its protagonists aren't allowed to truly face and overcome their internal conflicts. Consequently, they are unable to engage in any sort of genuine 3-dimensional relationship. The series then becomes a sorrowful portrayal of an awfully toxic romance in which neither side really knows who they are or what they want as individuals. And they don't make any effort to figure that out because their relationship becomes the be-all and end-all of their existences. The resilient joy that marked young Teso and Una gives room to 2 adults who are often moody and grumpy and standoffish. The cinematography follows this shift. The colors become darker, the shadows become harder, and melancholic shades of blue tint most compositions. As 30-year-olds, they have hit or miss communication skills and maturity, and their journey to the show's finale becomes an unhealthy, vicious cycle that doesn't really take them anywhere. Still Shining then relies on repetitive conflicts that often feel forced and motivations that seem fickle considering their backstory. It is the same misunderstandings over and over again. Instead of unraveling organically, the narrative wants to explore its protagonist's melancholy for the sake of the melancholy, without a clear goal. It's like nothing else matters but each other, which leads to a reunion that starts with delight, but slowly devolves into a controlling bond of possessiveness, lack of trust, and self-centeredness. Even though they are often given alternatives, they make hasty and indifferent decisions, justifying them as their only choice. The protagonists of Still Shining are encouraged to victimize themselves and catastrophize their lives, never fully acknowledging the support and affection they receive from the people around them. Teso and Una are denied the opportunity to learn that coordinating what you want, what you need, and what you ought to do is a natural part of growing up. They never come to understand that sometimes it is healthy to let go and move on. They never develop any sense of self-love and self-awareness. They never learn what romantic love should truly be like, how it thrives from mutual care and commitment and compromise. Instead, they hold on to a fantasy, an obsession, and a dangerous need for exhaustive devotion, which they believe will magically fill the emptiness that haunts them. What about Una's feelings of abandonment because of her mother, the eventual death of her father, and the resulting guilt from her loss? And Teso's relationship with his family, his grief over his parents, and even his brother's dream perhaps, and the sense that he's being imposed a cloak of responsibility that he didn't really want to accept. Una and Teso's loneliness, anguish, and anxiety simply exist, but are never effectively tackled. They are never allowed to mourn the carefree teenagers their fate stopped them from ever becoming, and they never engage in any introspection. The resulting narrative cannot be described as realistic nor completely melodramatic, just frustrating, pessimistic, and disjointed. That's not only due to the choice of topic, but also due to how the narrative was structured. Facts from a decade ago or even before come to the surface only to be forgotten soon after. Events are shared in small drops of information that don't always connect or aren't given the payoff needed. Most importantly, Tesso and Una's romantic relationship becomes so all-consuming that supporting characters end up as mere plot devices. For instance, Tesso's family gives Still Shining a whole lot of warmth, but they go underused. Una's senior at work, the charming Bei Sun-chan, played by an extraordinary Shin Jae-ha, becomes a cardboard cutout of a second male lead, his own personality molded to serve the love triangle required. The same happens to the lovely Ima Sol, played by Park Se-hyun, whose unwavering kindness goes unnoticed. The last episode spends an hour on a quest for the perfect farewell. They say goodbye 1,000 times before deciding not to really let go of each other, which makes for an exasperating watch. Tesso and Una reach the end of their story as slightly different individuals whose changes are so shallow they feel negligible. Instead of the transformative power of love, Still Shining chooses to be an exploration of a volatile relationship. Even though its narrative lacks a bit of nuance in the examination of such a complex dynamic, this is a story that successfully conveys the missteps, the gloominess, and the poignancy that mark this kind of connection. Through dazzling photography that gives the show a tone of nostalgia and offers some of the most artistic compositions of the year so far, Still Shining is absolutely stunning to look at. With the entire cast delivering powerful performances, this can be a compelling watch, if, and only if, you are in the right mood for it. This isn't the healing drama it was originally advertised to be, but a slow-paced and troubled romance that embraces the discomfort and willingly allows it to deepen rather than conquering it. Perhaps what Still Shining wants to say is that some moments in our lives will indeed shine forever in our hearts, but that doesn't mean that we need to hold on to them eternally. Maybe Tesso and Una's bond would shine even brighter if only they learned to let it go. Because right now, their sparkle is nothing but a memory. Still Shining is available on Netflix. Quick reminder that our complete review of JTBC's Still Shining is now available on the Blossom Review, and over on Substack this week we review TV Tokyo's Gimbap and Onigiri. So I'll leave all the links in the description if you guys would like to give them a read. Guys, thank you so very much for being here. I really hope that you like this video and you subscribe so I can see you here every week for a new review. Take very good care of yourself and have a lovely day today. I'll see you very soon. Big kiss!